My parents are class of 89 and 90, and my sister's class of 16. Like, just my entire childhood, they raised me on the core values and showed me, how special of a place A&M was. And so I knew if I could get in here, that's where I wanted to go. And sure enough, was blessed to be able to come here. And since then, haven't looked back. A&M's given me community, it's given me opportunities to succeed, chances to learn, and I'll be forever grateful for that. It's been a good time. It's been a good time.
I'm first generation. My mom went to college. She was in the military. My dad was in the military. So really, A&M wasn't really brought up in my household until my uncle brought me in the second grade, brought me to a football game. And man, did I fall in love with this great university. It just blew me away. After that, even though everyone was like Longhorns or Baylor, I was still remaining, Aggie. Honestly, A&M was the only school I applied to. It wasn't really until I toured the school and really saw how the love that all Aggies have for each other, how loyal they are to you, how respectful, how kind. It really reminded me of the people I grew up with. I feel like that's why I was so attracted to it.
My Aggie story, I grew up in College Station. I was born here, lived here till I was 11, and then my family were missionaries in Africa, so I moved to Africa, Kenya, Africa, when I was 11 years old. For half my life, I thought A&M was the only university. Until I realized that was just ridiculous. So you spent, my growing up years in Africa, but I always knew that I wanted to come back to A&M. And I toured a few other colleges just to see, but they all just paled in comparison, And so came back to America 2 weeks before my fish camp, and brand new, right off the plane. I was kind of worried. I was kind of worried about how I would do, coming back to this new culture to me. So I had all this stuff to catch up on, but going to this fish camp, I was immediately just adopted into the Aggie family, and just accepted for who I was, and built up by all this this new family that I had, and that's everything's history from there. So
I came to a swim camp my freshman year of high school, and I absolutely fell in love with the campus. I was like, this is a beautiful place, and I told myself, this is where I'm going to come. From now on, I'm going to work hard to get to this university, and I did. And then, I fell in love with all the traditions when I came for my fish camp, and yeah.
So I actually grew up in Aggie. Whenever I was a kid, I actually had one of those one of the sound boxes where you would twist it, and mine played the Aggie Warham. My mom was an Aggie, all of her siblings were Aggies. So I just grew up being an Aggie, and I knew that I wanted to go into engineering. And I knew that A&M was a good engineering school, and so that's really what led me here. And honestly, also the tradition. The tradition is quite amazing. I find it so fascinating that we're such a large school, yet we seem like we're so close.
I was very blessed to be able to be raised in a family of Aggies. I'm a third generation Ag. Every man in my family has been in the Corps of Cadets for the past 3 generations, and I'm the red-ass 19th member of my family, AAA Whoop, to go to Texas A&M. So definitely been fortunate. A&M, even before I stepped foot on campus, already had a connotation to me of family, because when we came in for football games, it meant family reunions. So then to step foot on campus and make the Aggie family my own was a very special experience.
So my parents are Aggies. My dad was class of 89. My mom was class of 90. They're just about some of the most red-ass Aggies that have ever walked this campus. And so my dad was in the Air Force, so I'd been all over, but I always stayed close to A&M, and then it was the only school I applied to. I knew I was going to come here for a long time.
So both my parents were actually Longhorns. Yeah. So I grew up with them trying to take me to TU, but my grandma actually, growing up, she lived in Caldwell, and she always loved her boys down at Texas A&M. And so my uncle ended up coming here, and he was in the Corps, so naturally I was kind of rebellious, and I decided to follow my uncle's footsteps and kind of bring back a house divided, and so I decided to come to A&M, and I've just fell in love with it ever since.